Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So potentially we've got Crystal Palace on Wednesday night. So the big question is who is going to start now, because we have got a catalogue of injuries now as it has officially confirmed, and I am going to be very surprised if Marcus Rashford does feature on Wednesday night. I think reportedly it has confirmed. I think Rashford has got some kind of ankle injury as it has confirmed. So Solskjaer from his own perspective will be surprised if he can make it into the team on Wednesday night, as I currently said. So I do think he's going to be rotating the squad differently. He's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on Wednesday night. Considering these injuries we've currently got. But he did say, based on today's game, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did currently say everything went wrong in the first half, as he did confirm. Obviously, reflecting on the current injuries, that we had currently suffered. But I think it's a point well gained, considering the injuries we currently suffered. I think Solskjaer has also confirmed as well that Ander Herrera's injury is a hamstring injury. I think Juan Mata's is also a hamstring injury as well, and so too is Jesse Lingard. Well, initially Jesse Lingard was obviously still injured anyway, so he basically wasn't fully fit anyway. Jesse Lingard, but in relation to Marcus Rashford, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does believe that Rashford was unfairly targeted by Liverpool players as well. So this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has currently said. So in the game today, basically Ole Gunnar Solskjaer only made two changes in the game today. From the Chelsea game, he obviously brought De Gea into contention. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Obviously, we saw, Scott McTominay in that midfield alongside Herrera and Pogba, that midfielder trio. Because obviously, as confirmed as well as a bit more bad news, as I said, the Nemanja Matic is out for up to a month, I think, or it could be a couple of weeks, as Solskjaer's confirmed. Because Nemanja Matic has currently received, I think he's got some kind of a muscle injury, as he did confirm he got this injury in training, did Nemanja Matic. So it did say it could be out for a couple of weeks or maybe a month. So he's going to miss key games as well as Nemanja Matic, as I did say. So I think that he's going to be there's going to be rotations in that midfield. Now we could see maybe Fred in contention, maybe Andres Pereira in contention, Scott McTominay in contention as well. Maybe play one of them fringe players, as I currently said, now due to Nemanja Matic's current absence. And we do know that Matic is very slow, but I think he's been playing very well in that midfield. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's flourished fantastically well. He is age 30 now, as I currently said, is Nemanja Matic, but he has been very instrumental in that midfield. So he is a really big loss, is Nemanja Matic, to be quite honest with you. Now, of course, Ander Herrera is a big loss as well. Solskjaer's confirmed Ander Herrera's is a hamstring injury, as I said. So he's confirmed the three that went off, they're all hamstring injuries. Rashford obviously didn't go off in the game, but obviously he was limping in the game, and I think he's an ankle injury, is Marcus Rashford's, as I currently said. But in relation to Ander Herrera, because he's going to be a big loss as well, we don't know if he's going to be back, for the Palace game on Wednesday. We haven't heard more news on relation to Herrera and Matic's injury, but we do know that I think they are hamstring injuries, as I said. But Herrera's been very good this season. His performances have been very good. He's been pulling the strings off very well in the midfield. Ander Herrera, he's been showing that determination, to gallop forward more as Ander Herrera. I've been very impressed with his performances. Indeed, especially since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming. He's complemented our midfield very well, and hopefully somewhere along the line, we can agree him a new 3-year deal worth around £100,000 a week. But he does deserve it, based on his fantastic performances. But yeah, so basically Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had to use three of his substitutions in the first half today against Liverpool, as I said. Basically, the first player to come off, obviously, was Ander Herrera. He came off with an injury, as we all currently know. He came off with an injury. It was a hamstring injury, as that did currently confirm. So he had to be replaced by Andres Pereira. So then he came into contention. So the midfield then was Andres Pereira playing alongside, obviously, Pogba and Scott McTominay. So Herrera came off, and then obviously Juan Mata came off. Obviously Juan Mata was playing in that free role today, in that number 10 position, just behind the two centre forwards. Mata came off with a hamstring injury as well, so he had to be initially replaced by Jesse Lingard as well. Jesse Lingard didn't stay on the pitch on him, of course. I think he had the best chance of the game though, when Lukaku threaded a great pass through. Jesse Lingard messed it up basically, but it was a great opportunity. But he wasn't fully fit anywhere, was Jesse Lingard, when he came off. So then basically Jesse Lingard came off the pitch, as I currently said, and then Alexis Sanchez then had to come in to contention in the game as well. But initially, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did confirm before the game, he didn't want to play Alexis Sanchez at all. He wanted to avoid playing Alexis Sanchez because he did say he lost trustworthy in him. He's lost faith in Alexis Sanchez. But basically, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at that moment in time had no option to put Sanchez on because obviously there were no other alterations, as I said. So really, he had to basically put Alexis Sanchez out there as well. Liverpool had an injury concern of their own. Firmino had to come off as well through injury in the game as well. But overall, I think we did very, very well. Considering that, and obviously when we lost them players in the game, when Herrera and Matic suffered injuries, and when Lingard and that suffered injuries, I think it killed the momentum of the team. And to be quite honest with you, but I still think we did very, very well considering that Rashford obviously wasn't fully fit. He was limping on the pitch, Marcus Rashford. But Solskjaer did go over team. He went with De Gea in that. He went with Young at right back. He went with Lindelof and Small as a centre back partnership. This is Smalling's third game now, as we all currently know, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Luke Shaw at left back. Obviously, midfield trio of this is when the lineup went with Herrera, Scott McTominay and Pogba in the number 10 Juan Mata, and up top Romelu Lukaku and Marcus Rashford. Indeed, but Solskjaer did say everything went wrong in the first half. Obviously, reflecting to the current injuries we currently suffered. But it was a game that lacked real clear-cut chances. To be quite honest with you, there wasn't a lot of chances in the game. To be quite honest with you, in terms of possession, Liverpool, did dominate the possession. To be quite honest with you, they looked very, very composed on the ball, but they lacked that composure in the final third of the pitch. Did Liverpool? So Liverpool didn't really sustain any kind of pressure. I thought we put a really, really good defensive performance out. To be quite honest, I thought Luke Shaw played very, very well at left back. I thought he dealt with Mohamed Salah, very, very well indeed. But I thought it was a very, very good defensive performance in Manchester United. I think it was a poor game in terms of an attacking intent, to be quite honest with you. I thought Liverpool very, very poor in an attacking sense as well, because they couldn't really break us down, and they didn't really have any real clear-cut chances, Liverpool. They did, I thought they looked a threat, from set pieces, Liverpool, to be quite honest with you. They did look a threat from set pieces. Obviously, Firmino came off for them, and it came off for them in the first half. I don't know what injury it was, but Daniel Sturridge came on. Obviously, he has a different style of play, to Firmino. As I can said, from Liverpool, I thought Liverpool's best player on the pitch was probably Fabinho. He played quite well. I thought Wijnaldum, for Liverpool, played quite well as well. But I thought Liverpool, they looked at a threat, from set pieces. But I did thought they didn't really create any real cut chances, couldn't get them runs in behind. As I said, they lacked in that final third. I thought the crossing was poor as well, Liverpool's. But the first half, they did dominate the game, Liverpool, to be quite fair. But the best chance we had in that first half was that Jesse Lingard chance, just before he came off. In the second half as well, I thought it livened up in the second half. I thought there was a bit more rhythm to the game. I thought that it was played at a high tempo in the second half, to be quite honest with you. And it did start livening up a bit in the second half. And I thought Man United did improve in the second half, and to be quite honest with you, I thought there were parts in the game where we did look dangerous. I thought some of the crossing, some of the crosses we put into the box, looked very, very dangerous as well. Chris Smalling should have scored the winner right at the end. I don't know how he missed that chance, to be quite honest with you. It did currently go wide as well. But as I did currently say, it lacked real clear-cut chances, to be quite honest with you, the game. I don't think Manchester United's performance was bad, to be quite honest with you, because I thought it was a good defensive performance. Didn't really show much in an attacking sense, but I thought defensively, we looked very, very good. I think Paul Pogba, maturity is very, very good now. I think Paul Pogba's getting that freedom to express himself, and I still think he's providing, good service to the front men. Is Paul Pogba. I thought he put a fantastic defensive display out today as well, Paul Pogba, in that midfield, as I said. But obviously, it wasn't the usual midfield trio, because obviously Nemanja Matic is absent for a couple of weeks, so Pogba was playing alongside McTominay and Herrera, as I currently said. But yeah, Herrera played well. I thought Lukaku did okay in the game as well. But as I did currently say now, who he's going to play against Crystal Palace, and that is the talking point in this. So I think Rashford is unlikely to play against Crystal Palace. So now this may allow Lukaku to basically get more opportunities playing as I currently said, because Lukaku mainly hasn't been number one choice under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all currently know, because we know mainly Rashford has been first choice over Romelu Lukaku, as I currently said, because I did say what Rashford can offer up front, Lukaku cannot do. As I think Lukaku's form has been slightly rejuvenated, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, to be quite fair. Lukaku's form has been slightly rejuvenated, as I said, but he's slow. I have strong reservations about him, to be quite honest with you. And he has got a good pedigree, because he has scored a lot of goals in the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku. But now he could be more contention, to start from the start. As I said, it'll likely he will start against Palace on Wednesday, Romelu Lukaku. But initially he has lost his place in the starting 11, Romelu Lukaku, as I said. But I think it has confirmed that basically what's confirmed that Marcus Rashford is an ankle injury, and it's a shame to see because he's been very, very good under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's grown, developed, he's flourished fantastically well as Marcus Rashford, as we all currently know. Being a United player, since the age of 7, as I currently said, as Marcus Rashford, he's progressed up the ranks very, very well, but, he enjoyed a difficult time under Mourinho, but since Solskjaer's coming, his form's been rejuvenated, Rashford, he's scoring more goals, he's leading the lines, he's looking very, very effective in that central position, that number 9 position. His finishing's also improved as well as Marcus Rashford, and he's showing that ability to attack, play balls and all that as well. So he has been, playing really, really well under Solskjaer. Obviously, was limping today, so he didn't play to his potential best. Marcus Rashford, it was something to do with his ankle, so I do think it is an ankle injury. To be quite honest with you, in relation, to obviously we know that we've obviously got Anthony Martial as well for injury. Obviously, he didn't make the trip because he's got a groin injury as Anthony Martial as well. Initially, it did confirm he was going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks alongside Lingard. Lingard obviously, came on just for a bit and then he went back off, as I said. But I did say, well, as soon as I seen come on the pitch, he wasn't fully fit, was Jesse Lingard. So Jesse Lingard was a risk, to bring on the pitch, as I said. But obviously he came back off. But initially he didn't want to play Alexis Sanchez, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he wanted to avoid playing Sanchez. But obviously he had no option. He had to put Sanchez on the pitch. And I do think Alexis Sanchez, is actually, on his way out of Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. Obviously he's the only player for me that hasn't impressed under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. When Sanchez has been given them opportunities, but now maybe Sanchez could be given more opportunities now, maybe from the start. Maybe from the start now these injuries have occurred. Martial's injured now. Martial's injured. Lingard's injured. Herrera's injured at the moment. Matic injured at the moment. Matic is injured at the moment. Rashford's got an ankle injury as well. So now Sanchez, may get more starts, to try and prove himself, as I currently said. But he's been a very, very disappointing player as Alexis Sanchez, since he's come here. He's been here just over a year, as we all know. He's suffered a couple of injuries as well as Alexis Sanchez, but he has lost that yard of pace. He is aged 30 years of age now. Is Alexis Sanchez, as we all currently know. And as I did say, he's nowhere near the player he was at Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez, as I said. But Solskjaer did say, basically, I think the club are planning, to sanction him off in the summer, because Solskjaer's lost all his trustworthiness in him and he has no faith in Alexis Sanchez anymore, as Solskjaer confirmed. But Solskjaer was discussing about, was it only recently that he said he was confident that Sanchez's form will improve as a Manchester United player, but he hasn't really, he hasn't really lived up to expectation levels as Alexis Sanchez, so I do think he's on his way out of the club, to be quite honest with you. But I do think we did well in the game, considering, that we suffered them injuries in the first half. Solskjaer said it went wrong in the first half, and Solskjaer does believe that Rashford was unfairly targeted by Liverpool players, and this was reported in the Metro as well. And also too, he said he will be surprised if Rashford, can make it in contention, for the Palace game on Wednesday. So basically, I think he'll be rotating the squad differently on Wednesday, now due to these current injuries. Herrera, I don't know if he's going to be back for Wednesday. I don't know if Matt is going to be back for Wednesday, as I currently said, but I think Rashford is a big doubt indeed. But more things will update in relation, to Ander Herrera and Juan Mata, of course, as well. But it is a shame to see, to be quite honest with you, because I thought Liverpool did dominate in the first half, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, they lost Firmino as well. Liverpool dominated the possession, they were getting, through the channels, good as well, Liverpool. But I thought we put a good defensive performance in today. It wasn't a great performance from Manchester United. It wasn't performances, we have been seeing in the recent weeks, because we showed a good masterclass performance against Chelsea in the Cup, a good masterclass performance against Arsenal in the Cup as well. A great performance, in the first game under Solskjaer at Cardiff and, Bournemouth at home. So it wasn't that type of performance, as I currently said. But, we had lost players, through injury. So obviously that's going to kill the momentum of the team a bit. And, it's going to, as I did currently say, as I did currently say. But it's good news that Solskjaer has made Premier League history, which is very, very good news as well. But for me, I still think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is definitely the right man for Manchester United, and I have faith in him, and I have trust with him that he can take this team forward. He can elevate this team to that higher level, and I do think he can get us in that commanding position, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So as it stands, he's made history now in the Premier League, which is good. We've won 11 out of 14 in all competitions. We've still won a 7 away from home in all competitions as well. We've won 8 in the league. As I said, we've still scored, 30 goals in the process as well. So you can still see the vast improvements in the team. But obviously Liverpool maybe come out the happier. Well, they'll be disappointed as well, considering that they couldn't take advantage of the injuries, that we currently suffered. So Liverpool will be disappointed in that scenario. But as I did currently say, you could see Jurgen Klopp carrying on that touchline. Liverpool are back top now. As I currently said, just a point above Manchester City. They have only lost one game all season. Defensively, they look good this season. Liverpool, they have scored goals as well, and they have invested money in the past couple of seasons as Liverpool. They addressed the defensive deficiencies with the sign of Virgil van Dijk. They've got a good attacking trio in Salah, Firmino, and Mane. And to be quite honest with you, Salah hasn't been in his best form of recent for Liverpool. I still think he's one of the best players in the Premier League, but I thought Luke Shaw dealt with him very, very well today. Mohamed Salah, as I said. But yeah, Liverpool are obviously going for the league this season, of course. They haven't won it now for 29 years, all in all. Liverpool, they haven't won the league, for 29 years, as we all currently know. They haven't won a major honour, since 2006 as well. And Klopp really hasn't got that pedigree in terms of winning silverware, because he hasn't won out yet at Liverpool. He hasn't won a major honour with Liverpool as manager yet. He did win a couple of titles, when he was in management of Borussia Dortmund, Jurgen Klopp. But yeah, I think, Man United probably will be the happier, going out of that game, considering, that we lost, key players, through injury. I think we'll be the happier. Liverpool, from their perspective, will be disappointed that they didn't take advantage of that, but they'll be happy, basically Liverpool, that they didn't lose the game, and they basically, still got a point out of the game, as I said. But it's obviously always the biggest game in English football is Manchester United and Liverpool, obviously the two most successful clubs historically, as I currently said. But it's bad news, these injuries, as I said, because Herrera's played well this season. Juan Mata, of course, hasn't really been first choice, as I said, but obviously due to recent injury of Lingard coming off, obviously we've obviously give Juan Mata a chance, but now obviously he's suffered an hamstring injury as well. And I did say Juan Mata's 30, he's 30 years of age, and he has lost that yard of pace as Juan Mata, but we still know at the right time he can be an essential player, can Juan Mata, because obviously I think he's been a consistent player, since he's come to Manchester United, Juan Mata, as I currently said, but he has lost that yard of pace, as I currently said. So it's going to be interesting to see, what lineup he goes with against Crystal Palace. We've got other bad news, because PSG's coming up soon. Paul Pogba's also suspended, for Paris Saint-Germain as well. Could be likely that Matic is going to miss Paris Saint-Germain as well. Matic is going to definitely miss Wednesday. He's going to miss the Southampton game. So I think it did say, some reports said he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Some reports saying he could be out for up to a month, Nemanja Matic. He has suffered some kind of muscle injury as Nemanja Matic, and this did confirm before the game initially, that he suffered this injury in training, because the first reports did come out saying that he hadn't travelled with the rest of the Manchester United squad, and obviously a lot of United fans wanted to know why. So obviously it must have been an injury. That's why he didn't travel the rest of the United squad. Obviously we knew Martial, of course, was obviously injured anyway. We were hopeful that he could have played in this Liverpool game today, but obviously, of course, he's still injured. Is Martial, with a groin injury. Very, very young. He's prime. His progression's been fantastic as a Manchester United player, as Anthony Martial's, as I currently said. And he does create that width well on the left hand side. So he is a huge miss. Is Anthony Martial. Jesse Lingard's obviously a huge miss now as well. And it was a bit of a risk, to be quite honest with you. Bringing Lingard on in that game, because I knew obviously he wasn't fully fit anywhere, as we all currently knew, as I said. But he's obviously risen up the Man United youth system, and his progression's been good as a Manchester United player, as Jesse Lingard's. As I said, but his progression's been very, very good as a Manchester United player, and you can see when them two wide players are playing, Martial and Lingard, you can see that the bags of pace is currently knocked out of the team as well, because Martial and Lingard have got the ability to attack, play balls, provide and score goals, and all that, as I currently said. So it's going to be interesting to see, how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, does rotate, for the Crystal Palace game on Wednesday, as I currently said. We could basically see, I don't know what he's going to go with, because we have got a few injuries now. I'm not too sure what's happening happening with Mata and Herrera, if they're going to be fit enough to play on Wednesday or not, I do not know. I don't think Holt's updated about that, but they have got hamstring injuries. Lingard's got a hamstring injury. Mata's got a hamstring injury. Herrera's got a hamstring injury as well. Matic has got a muscle injury, and Rashford has got an ankle injury, I think. But I think Solskjaer did admit that Rashford should have basically been taken off in the game, because obviously, he was limping on the pitch, and obviously that knocks the pace out of Marcus Rashford, as I currently said. But he didn't take him off. He still saw out the 90 minutes in the game, did Marcus Rashford. But basically, Solskjaer was saying in relation to Rashford, Solskjaer believes Rashford was unfairly targeted by Liverpool players, and Solskjaer reflected on the game. He said obviously everything went wrong in the first half. With obviously, with the injuries, that we currently suffered in the first half, and this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said. And obviously Solskjaer does believe, he says it will be surprised if Rashford, can make it, for the game on Wednesday against Crystal Palace, as I said. But I can still see, the team's playing really, really well under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. He's rejuvenated the team, the structure of the team's right, the cohesion of the team's right as well. So probably for Wednesday night, Solskjaer's going to have to maybe, put quite a few fringe players in there. Now, obviously, if Herrera can't make it, as I said, or Mata and all that, he may have to go with like maybe Scott McTominay in midfield, maybe Andres Pereira and Pogba as a midfield trio, or something like that. If Herrera can't make it on Wednesday, so he may go in with a midfield trio of Scott McTominay, Andres Pereira, or Pogba, or he could maybe go with Fred, Scott McTominay, and Paul Pogba. So he may do it like that. If Herrera, can't make it for Wednesday night, and I think maybe Sanchez could be in contention, to start on Wednesday night as well. Considering that more injuries have now occurred. Obviously Martial, of course, is still injured as well. So maybe Sanchez could play. Probably Lukaku will be likely, to be in contention as well, because it's looking likely Rashford isn't going to be playing in the game as well. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is definitely going to rotate the squad. In that back line position, it will be the same probably in that back line position. In that back line, Ashley Young at right back, obviously our first choice right back. It will probably likely be Smalling and Lindelof, unless he puts Baines contention. I don't know, but recently he has been putting Smalling alongside Lindelof. Smalling, has played his third game under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Lindelof, obviously, progression as a Manchester United player this season has been very, very good indeed. As I said, he's shown that determination can play out from the back. He's getting forward more. He's Victor Lindelof, so his performances have really improved this season. And it's likely that Luke Shaw will be at left back, because obviously he's our first choice left back, as I could have said. So it'll be likely he'll go with the same back line, but the midfield will obviously change now that obviously Matic is obviously out with a muscle injury. Herrera probably may not make it for Wednesday, as I currently said. Obviously Juan Mata now, of course, has suffered an injury as well. So he'll put a couple of fringe players in there. He'll probably maybe give Fred an opportunity, maybe on Wednesday, may put Fred alongside, Scott McTominay and, Pogba there. So he may go with midfield trio, Fred, McTominay and Pogba, or, he may, do another thing. He may put Andres Pereira in there. So now obviously Matic is injured anyway. It does allow opportunities for Fred, McTominay and Andres Pereira and all that. Fred has obviously hardly had the opportunity at Manchester United, since he's been a Manchester United player, because we did get him last summer from Shakhtar Donetsk for around, was it 47 million or was it 52 million or something like that, as I currently said. Of course, Andres Pereira's hardly played this season. As I said, there has been talks that Man United have been in negotiations getting him a new contract, but obviously he has strong reservations about his game time, does Andres Pereira. But now he may get a bit more opportunities with the injury of Nemanja Matic and all that, as I currently said. But yeah, I do believe, that obviously I do believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still definitely the right man for Manchester United, as I said, because I did say he does have that winning philosophy, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. In terms of a play, he won loads and loads of trophies, as a player, under Alex Ferguson for 11 years, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. So he's a great player, he won trophies, scored loads and loads of goals. In terms of his managerial career so far, hasn't won much, but I think that is to come. If we can get some new additions into the club in the summer, and I think if we can get some new additions into the club in the summer, reportedly we're going to get around 200 odd million, to spend in the summer on current players, reportedly. And I've already identified, the key areas where we do currently need to strengthen up. So if we can get some new additions into the club in the summer, I do think we can potentially be title contenders for next season without a shadow of a doubt. I think we can potentially be title contenders for next season, if we can get some new additions into the club in the summer. Obviously, it's been a bit of a mess, with the director of football as well, because obviously we're still looking to hire a director of football to come in. And of course, we do expect departures as well, so we do expect, experienced players, to leave in the summer. And, basically it would be ideal, if we could get some, players, young players, that could grow, develop and mould under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But he hasn't won out much in terms of silverware as a manager at the moment. But based on his fantastic progression so far as Manchester United manager, of course, he's also made Premier League history, which is very, very good as well in the Premier League, which is a good achievement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. When he was at Molde, he had 2 spells with Molde. He won 2 Norwegian titles with Molde. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all currently know. Of course, he didn't do so good at Cardiff. He had a short tenure with Cardiff, and Cardiff got relegated. But he doesn't know all about Cardiff. But Manchester United, he knows the club inside out. It's a club he adores, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He suits the managerial style of the club. He suits the strappings of the club, and he is the right man. I do think now he's the number one, now to get the job as Manchester United manager. A lot of people would have said if we'd have won today, he would have been guaranteed the job on a full-time basis. But I think a point is still enough, and considering the injuries that we suffered, as I currently said, I think a point is enough, to give Solskjaer the job on a full-time basis, as I said. And as reports were coming out the other week in relation to Solskjaer, basically, saying that reportedly the board had currently made a decision, and reportedly the board had made a decision, and it did currently say that Solskjaer will be named Man United manager on a full-time basis at the end of the season. Probably won't be officially announced until the end of the season, of course. But reportedly, we'd only have to pay a small fee anyway, so we'd only have to pay an additional fee of around £7-8 million, to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the job on a full-time basis. Because initially, we've paid £1.8 million at the moment, to obviously, get him on a temporary basis. But obviously now we're not in the top 4 now, because obviously Arsenal winning at home today against Southampton, so they're now in the top 4. Arsenal are a point above us. Arsenal now have gone 4th, but definitely, we are still in the race, for the top 4, as I currently said. That's our objective this season, is to get that top 4, as I currently said, because it's important that we do get Champions League for next season as well. So we do want to get the top 4. Hopefully, we can succeed in the FA Cup as well, which is very, 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 very essential indeed. But yeah, we've got other injuries as well, that we haven't really spoke about. Valencia's out for a couple of weeks. He's had a couple of injury problems this season as well. He's Antonio Valencia. I think he's on his way out of the club, to be quite fair. Is Antonio Valencia. Of course, being one of the longest-serving players here at Manchester United, but I do think Valencia is on his way out of the club, to be quite honest with you. Because there was speculation of him leaving in January. I think West Ham have showed an interest in Valencia. Of course, he's won everything here as well. Darmian's obviously out for a couple of weeks as well. He's another player I can see leaving in the summer as well. You've got Marcus Rojo there. He's good there as a backup option, but again, enjoyed a very, very difficult time as a Manchester United player. He's struggled with his fitness regime, struggled to get a run of games under his belt, because he's had a lot of injuries, since he's become a Manchester United player. So he could leave in the summer as well, Marcus Rojo. I think he's come back in training, but he's still not fully fit yet. You've obviously got the likes of Chris Smalling, who's been injured this season. He's just not only recently, he's just recently, come back from injury as well as Smalling. We've got Phil Jones, who's known for injuries as well. He's not injured now, but he is known for injuries. He's Phil Jones, as I said, and he's been one long-serving players here at Manchester United. He's been here a good 7-8 seasons now. As Phil Jones, I think he's been here since 2011, is it? Something like that. Phil Jones. Got Luke Shaw again. A very, very good player, still very, very young, but again known for injuries. Is Luke Shaw. He is an injury-prone player. He's had a couple of injuries since he's been United. When he was at Southampton, when he was younger, he suffered a couple of injuries as well. Luke Shaw, as I said. But yeah, these injuries are going to really, really affect us. So Solskjaer's obviously got a lot of thinking to do of, what team he's going to go with against Crystal Palace on Wednesday night. But Rashford is definitely a doubt. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer basically did confirm that he's got an ankle injury. Solskjaer did confirm that he should have been taken off today, reportedly, but he wasn't. So he did basically, see out the 90 minutes, did Marcus Rashford. But he has got an ankle injury, so he's set to miss the game on Wednesday night. I haven't heard any news about Andre Herrera and Mata. I do know that they have both got hamstring injuries, just like Lingard's got a hamstring injury. So that's been confirmed that Solskjaer's identified. He's basically detected what injury it is, and he said it's a hamstring injury, of all players, Lingard, Herrera and Mata. I don't know if Herrera's, if there's any news saying that Herrera and Mata are going to have any chance of playing on Wednesday night. I haven't heard any latest news on that. But we do know that Nemanja Matic is out. He's out for a couple of weeks with a muscle injury, as that's currently confirmed in the media. We know Martial's obviously, of course, still out with injury as well. So we have got, a lot of injuries, as I currently said. We have got a lot of injuries, as I said. Palace Manchester United preview will be either coming up later tomorrow or it will be coming up on Tuesday. As I said, with the Palace Man United preview. As I said, we should be getting back to winning ways against Palace. You know, to be quite honest with you, Palace aren't a great side. Let's be honest. You know, they've got Roy Hodgson in there. Roy Hodgson, I think, has managed 20 teams as Roy Hodgson. You know, through his managerial career. I think Palace are sitting 13th in the league. You know, something like that. You know, I think it's away for moments in it. Palace. You know, we did beat them last season at Crystal Palace by 3-2. You know, we actually was initially 2 goals down in that game, so we had to, you know, come back from a 2-goal deficit. And, you know, I think, you know, Matic currently scored the winner last season. We beat them 4-0 last season at home. We did draw with Crystal Palace earlier on this season, and it was a 0-0. But we haven't lost to them in our last 9 meetings, Crystal Palace. And basically, I think the last time Palace did beat us was back in the League Cup back in 2011, was it? After extra time or something like that. But yeah, as I did say, guys, if more things update, you know, there'll be probably one more live video coming up very, very soon. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and see you all again very, very